a Philadelphia songwriting, production, and performing duo who were prominent at Philadelphia International during the 70s. The two were members of a band as teens that toured with and were managed by Otis Redding until his death in 1967. Although they were being primed to record for North Bay, when Gamble and Huff discovered the duo's writing talents, they decided instead to employ them in that capacity at their label, Philadelphia International. The centerpiece of today's video is all about McFadden and Whitehead. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. As teenagers, Gene McFadden and John Whitehead met at school in 1960s Philadelphia and formed a group called the Epsilons. The personnel included Alan Beatty, James Knight, and future Blue Notes member Lloyd Parks. When Otis Redding came to Philadelphia, the Epsilons were invited to become part of his revue. They toured with him during the late 1960s until Redding's death in a plane crash in 1967. They signed a small record deal with Stax Records on the back of this opportunity and had a moderate success in 1970 with The Echo.
Come and see about me. What's the matter about you, baby?
After the departure of Lloyd Parks to Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Gene and John changed their name to Talk of the Town and worked with Gamble and Huff, who groomed their talents on their North Bay label. Discovering their abilities for writing and producing, Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff employed McFadden and Whitehead at their Philadelphia International Records label through the 1970s, collaborating with them at first on I'll Always Love My Mama for the Intruders. While at the label, their songs and/or productions were utilized by the OJs on their hit Backstabbers in 1972, which reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on Billboard's Hot Soul Singles chart. And Archie Bell and the Drells for hits. Let's groove. The Soul City Walk. Strategy.
I got a song for you.
And Don't Let Love Get You Down.
That you didn't want to be loved no more. Girl, just don't sit up.
McFadden and Whitehead also wrote songs such as Bad Luck. Wake Up Everybody.
Don't use up. Stop using the dope. Wake up.
Praying.
Around. I don't see a person who don't need one nowhere.
And Where Are All My Friends for Harold Melvin the Blue Notes.
My friends are everywhere I went.
As well as The More I Get, The More I Want.
You always give me what I need, what I need.
And Cold World for Teddy Pendergrass.
Listen to me.
As well as Just Got to Be More Careful for Carolyn Crawford.
Wrap you in their arms, fill your head with lots of dreams.
A number of these songs were written in collaboration with their associate Victor Karstafeithen. The production team also worked with fellow producer Ronnie Psalm and with artists Melba Moore, Freddie Jackson, Gloria Gaynor, Gladys Knight, the Jackson 5, James Brown, Stevie Wonder, Lou Rawls, Willie Collins, Jerry Bell, and Bo Williams. McFadden and Whitehead formed together as a group officially under the name McFadden and Whitehead in 1977. The pinnacle of their success came in 1979 with dance floor anthem Ain't No Stopping Us Now from their eponymously named album, which went to number 1 on the R&B charts, number 13 on the pop charts, sold 8 million records worldwide, and was nominated for a Grammy Award.
Don't try to stop us, no.
After leaving PIR, they were recorded Ain't No Stopping Us Now is Ain't No Stopping Ain't No Way. And worked on some individual projects. The duo was featured on the Oprah Winfrey Show, where they sang their most famous song on an episode in which Oprah featured the top hits of the 1970s. According to the American Top 40 radio program for the week ended August 4th, 1979, Casey Kasem reported that McFadden and Whitehead were in Chicago on May 25th, 1979, promoting their music and doing various interviews. Because they agreed to do one more music interview at the last minute, they decided to reschedule their flight to Los Angeles to the next day, May 26th. They were originally scheduled to fly on American Airlines Flight 191 on May 25th, which crashed shortly after takeoff from O'Hare International Airport, unaliving all 258 passengers plus the crew. On May 11, 2004, Whitehead was unalived on the street outside of his Philadelphia home studio while standing outside as a young man made repairs on his SUV. There, he was shot once by one of several unknown gunmen who then fled. Whitehead was 55 years old. As of this recording, the first-degree M remains unsolved.
A Philadelphia family has been waiting for answers, for justice, but they won't give up. They're hoping one day police will be able to find out who murdered their loved one, John Whitehead. Here's our Hank Flynn.
What's wrong?
He has a picture that goes on his headstone and it's not there.
John Whitehead's picture's missing from his gravestone at Mount Moriah. Daughter Lakia says it'll be replaced. It's the memory of him, particularly his murder back in 2004, that she can't shake.
I feel like I did 18 years ago. It still hurts. And I feel like somebody should be held accountable.
Whitehead was a star with partner Gene McFadden. He wrote monster hits for the OJs and Harold Melvin on the Philly International label, all before he and McFadden dreamed up the smash Ain't No Stopping Us Now. Whitehead was working on a car behind his West Oak Lane home when eyewitnesses say 3 shooters ambushed him.
This car was parked right here.
No one was ever charged. It's hard to carry that for years.
It's not like I'm around feeling like, oh, we're going to find out who did this. It's 18 years later and, you know, but I still have hope. I still have hope.
Philly Police Captain Jason Smith says that newer resources are allowing more cold cases like the Whiteheads to be reopened.
I want to impress upon everyone that we have not forgotten about homicide victims, and it's our job, it's our mission to provide closure to these family members, next of kin of these homicide victims.
He was the hook master, man.
The family tells me that the grapevine tells them that John was not targeted. His killing was a mistake.
I get emotional about it.
Anthony Williams was like a brother to John. He's heard other things too, mainly that the shooters are no longer here.
The tail end of that is years later, every last one of them got killed too.
They're all gone now.
They all got killed too. You hear stuff in the street, and you be like, that he was involved with this, they was involved with that, and karma catches up with you. Karma catches up with you one way or another. So my thing is, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Karima Whitehead says she hears her father's music every day. It changes you. You live with the pain. There's way too much of that going around. If you have info on John Whitehead or any other Philly cold case, reach out. I'm Hank, and that's my take.
On January 27, 2006, McFadden passed of liver and lung cancer at the age of 56. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song from McFadden and Whitehead, or a song that the duo wrote?